All right, we are live. All right, and naturally, this knucklehead antivirus thing comes up. So hang on, I gotta cancel it. All right, there we go. Done. Hi, welcome to Tori Magoo 44 at midnight with Magoo. I appreciate you guys coming on, even though nobody's here yet, but I know you're gonna come. I know it. I'm counting on you. In the meantime, I'm going to read a little bit more of my SP Declare because that always brings you guys on. All right. So yesterday I read calculated efforts to disrupt church services or the flow of public up the bridge through the churches. Not really true. No, it's efforts to disrupt the church services. No, I am about exposing the abuses of the Church of Scientology. What they want to do in their phony church services is up to them. Hey, Nanya, hi, welcome. So, or the flow of public up the bridge through the churches. Well, I will say I hope to educate them on what they're wasting their money on. Hey, love it. Hi, Verity. Thank you guys for coming tonight. Today is June 18th. All right. It's almost my birthday. It's coming up. Anyway, June's a good month for me. I love it's always a nice month. Hi, Sophie. Evening from New Zealand. I love it. Our international group is beginning. Toronto. All right. Hi, Natalie. Good to see you too. And Schwa. Hi. Those are cute little emoticons. Thank you. Anyway, it's good to have you guys here. Thank you for coming by. I'm going to wait just a couple minutes. Nanya, never in, always against. Very good, Nick. Ash, hi, Tori. Hey. Hi, Ash. It's a good Nick, too. Pixie 314. All right. Hi, Tori. Good morning from Oslo. Oh, one of my favorite countries. You lucky dog. Tartan TRs, Leanie G. All right, from UK. Welcome. Thank you. Good evening from another New Zealander. All right, Lottie's Lore. Cool. And Charles Patrick, hello. Thank you for coming on. It's always good to see you guys. I appreciate you coming by. Miss Withholdy. Ooh. That's a funny one for people that have been in Scientology. Withholding, a withhold is where you're withholding something bad that you did. You're not telling your auditor. And people say, well, she's actually very withholding. And it's like, that's what it means. You're not coughing up what you did. So that's a really cute nick, Miss Withholdy. Pause of Andrea. Hello, Tori and chat from Alberta. All right. All you guys enjoy all these other countries. It's so wonderful. The only thing I wish is that I could fly around, and be in New Zealand and go to Australia, up in Toronto and, all over the place. Hi, Carolyn TG. Good morning. That's right. I guess it is. It's good morning. You're right. I always forget because for me, it's nighttime. It's like after this, I'll go to bed. So I think of it as night, but it's 12:11. So that's the morning of tomorrow. That's right. Okay, welcome everyone from across the world. Please put question before your questions and comments before comments. Like, subscribe, and lots of love. Thank you, Sophie. That's right. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's 11 a.m. All right. So that is definitely tomorrow morning. And it's 7 p.m. Tuesday here. Wow. That's just amazing to me. That always blows my mind how the time is so different in different areas. Once again, hello from the Netherlands. It's 9 a.m. over here. All right. Leif's love. Oh, hi. Are you talking about Leif, my friend? I have a friend named Leif who was my supervisor in Scientology. And then his wife and I became very good friends online. And then I met them when all of us had left. It's a really cool story. Please hit the like on your way in. Tori attracts a cosmopolitan bunch. That's correct. I have a funny story. Hi, Eve. Leifs plus love in Dutch. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I know a Leif from, I think he's from Sweden. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's from Sweden. But I met him here at Flag when he was the supervisor when I was on course. And the guy knew all these different languages. And then I met he had divorced, he and his wife had divorced. She left Scientology, he stayed in. I wore those red horns, and I wore them because I knew they had been sending me out to handle the critics for years. And so I knew when I showed up with Bob Minton and Stacey Brooks and Jesse Prince, who were big SPs, they would lie to the public at Flag and say, oh, she's just out handling the critics, if I just went walking with them, picketing. So I said, no, I'm going to wear these red horns. So I bought these red horns, and it was like, no, I'm not handling the critics. I'm with the critics now. And it was really cool, but I always felt like it would help someone, and it ended up helping them. Leif saw it, and he saw my horns, and he supervised me on course, and he was like, why is Tori wearing red horns? Which is exactly why I wore them. I was thinking maybe somebody will question it, and he did. And he went online, woke up, left Scientology, reconnected with his wife that he divorced from. They remarried. It was really a very, very wonderful story. And she unfortunately passed away. He's still alive. But anyway, that's the story of Leif that I know. Okay. Life D is love and Africans. Oh, okay. Nice. Africans. Okay. Bite me is love in Brooklyn. That's a good one. In City of Angels, hi, welcome. And what a love story of life, isn't it? And especially with my little red horns, that they actually finally helped somebody. It was like really fun when we all got together. It was like, oh, what a trip. And that he kept looking out the window going, why is Tori wearing red horns? And that's when he went on the internet. That's why I say you never know what you might do that could change someone's life forever. I mean, those stupid red horns were what got him to look on the internet, wake up, leave Scientology, remarry. It's like, wow, what a story with those little red horns. So I knew they'd help somebody. I knew it. So Becca Jean, hi, welcome. And hi, Tori and Chad. Good morning from Belgrade, Serbia. Wow, cool. That is very, very far away. Late night with Tori. Hi. Hi, Mark. It is good to see you guys. It really is. So this is a talk tonight. I'm just going to give a little talk. It's not long, but it's called Living in the Moment. And what inspired it is you're having a fun vacation in Las Vegas. Just a second. How is everyone? Okay, 49er fan for life is asking that. I think everyone's good. We're all good here. The Dutch have a horrific past in South America. So a lot of Dutch words over there equal love and leave a way to end writings. Very unusual. Thank you, Eve. All right, good morning, One Paint Girl. All right. I love that, living in the moment. Thank you, Sophie. So what happened is one of my roommates came, this was like 3 or 4 years ago, I think we figured out. He's like 6'6", he's from Nigeria, black as can be, gorgeous as can be, worked out then 3 hours a day. I think he still does. But he was working out, going to the gym every day. And I was like, okay, cool. So anyway, I wouldn't see him much, but when I saw him, we'd have really good talks. And one day he came home and he was smiling. I said, what happened? And he said, I met Tyler Perry's best friend. He said, Tyler wants to meet you. And, Tyler Perry's like at the top of the triangle for actors, especially in the African-American community, because he set up the whole compound down in Georgia and gave, I think, Eddie Murphy his own, big barracks where he could make his movies, and Oprah, and, just like all kinds of different celebrities. He gave them their own thing. So he's kind of a big deal. So he wanting to meet him was like, wow, this is really cool. And especially for me, because I've been here since 1969. I've met thousands of people who wanted to get into the industry, but just have never made it. And this here was a Josh, it was like he's working out, right? And Tyler Perry wants to meet him. So now he's texting away. And I said, who are you texting to? And he goes, Tyler. And I'm just talking to Tyler. Like they're best friends. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, too much. Hi, Tori, caught you live. Great topic on living in the moment. Thank you. So, so anyway, just to finish what happened with him. So now COVID hits. So he can't go to the gym anymore. So he turns my house into a gym. And he's like, doing his crunches and push-ups and all this stuff. And, I leave for the day and go do stuff and come back and he's still working out. I mean, it was just amazing. And finally he's texting away one night, and it's a Friday night. And I said, what's up? And he goes, I'm going over to Tyler's. Do you want to come? And I should have gone because it was my only chance to go. But I know my story and I know people with Scientology. And I just thought, I don't want this to go all on what about Scientology? I want it to be all on Josh. So he really gets in with these guys. And thank God I did, because it was all of Tyler's dear friends who are not in the industry at all. And they, Tyler wanted them to meet Josh and see what they thought. And so it was perfect that I didn't go. And anyway, but we've become really dear friends because of that, just from just living together and all kinds of cool stuff. So now he made so much money with Tyler. Now he bought his own condo and he has a big dog and a service dog. And, he's just a cool guy. He's really neat. So he came over tonight and he said, I always love talking to you because you always have different views of how you look at things than most people do. And it means a lot to me. So I really appreciate it. And I said, well, thank you. And he always has good questions. Like he said to me, I'm 77, he's 31. So he said, did your life just like zip by, do you feel like? And Heart Healer 44, hi. And Julie B, hi. And B Taylor, hi. I'm in the middle of a story about my roommate. Anyway, he came over tonight and he said, I love talking to you because you always have different ways of looking at things. And it's not just, your normal, this is what I had for lunch or something like that he just doesn't care about. And neither do I. So anyway, he asked me about my life and did it just zoom by or did it kind of chug along? And I said, actually, for me, it was really, really, it's been a really, really good life. And so have my brothers. And all three of us have had very different lives. But all of us kind of, I think because of our mom, she was very big on wake up in the morning, decide whether you're going to have a good day or a bad day, and then make it a good day. Do you know what I mean? And it's sort of like part of it was find something that you love every day and give gratitude for that. And the other thing, and my two things are like learn something every day and try to help someone every day. And also my mother's thing of find something beautiful and have gratitude for it. And make sure that you're grateful for the things. Because I told him, I said, it's so amazing to me how many people's lives just zip by and they've missed their life because they're so busy worrying about yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow. And here's today where they're actually in a great space. They could be really having a good time, but they miss it because they're so out of the now. So they're not living in the moment. They're living in yesterday or tomorrow. And so they miss their life. So that's my thing. I just wanted to say to everyone, I'm 77. I'm going to be 77 on the 27th. I'm 76, but I'm almost 77. But I just thought, if anybody, I thought that was a very good question about did your life just zip away? And I thought, no, actually it didn't. Because I try to spend every day really enjoying the day. And I said, it's tricky because if you get in days where it's not so great, I told him about a lot of different people have taught me lessons all through my life, and especially since I left Scientology. Nothing, very little while I was in Scientology, but after, amazing. And one of them was the first day after I flew in and escaped out of Scientology, Stacy Brooks's cleaning lady said, "Would you like a piece of advice?" And now you have to imagine I'd lost everything I believed in. I knew I was going to lose every friend, my husband. It was just like I was like a you know, blank thing for an artist to paint on. What do you want to paint? And so she said, "Would you like to have some kind of advice?" And I said, "Yes, anything." And she said, "Okay, with what you've gone through in the last 24 hours, this is in 2000, in July," she said, and you have to know that in Scientology, it's a really bad thing if you roller coaster, if you go up and down and up and down. They're like, "Oh, she's really screwed up," right? So this lady said, this is Stacy's cleaning lady. And she said, "With what you've gone through," and she wasn't an ex-Scientologist or a Scientologist at all. This was her advice. She said, "You have to know with what you've gone through, you are going to go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Maybe every day, maybe every hour, maybe every few minutes. But I want you to remember that you are circularly going up." And I thought that is such a great concept. So in between the going up, you might be going up and down, but it's not like it's the end of the world. Whereas Scientology really makes it the end of the world. It's like you are screwed up and that's it. It's like your PTS and screwed up for life. And there you go. So anyway, that was just a really neat thing that she told me. And I was telling him that I often ask people, like I heard him say the thing about, did your life just zoom on? And I thought that's a good thing to pass on to you all, because I have seen people where I think their life they missed the whole day. You know what I mean? They were worrying and busy and, just like doing stuff, but it wasn't really something that would, be like, if you think of it like an artist, when they make something, they want it to be beautiful, or they want it to be distinct, or whatever. They want it to be something, but they have a concept in their eyes. And that's what I think we all basically are, artists. And if we use our talents, we will bring out that side of us, which is a beautiful side for every one of us, and different and unique for every single person. So, but that takes living in the moment, because if you live in the moment, you can be an artist. Do you see what I mean? If you're out of present time or out of the moment, God knows what happens. But I know it's not as much fun as when you live in the moment. And it really is fun creating, I think. And I think a lot of people think, well, I'm not really an artist. Yes, you are. You really are. You just have to keep tapping into it and keep tapping into it and try something. And maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. But you know what? It's going to get better if you keep trying at it. It does. That's the way it works. So anyway, let me check the stars. And if you have any questions about what I said. All right, so here's the first one. Yes, I'm so excited to listen to your live. Thank you for keeping us company. Well, thank you for coming and listening. Love media movies. Okay. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, cool. Okay, now this is to support me. Okay, if you want to support me at all, click on those links, and it's very much appreciated. I mean, it's such a surprise to me. I can't tell you. It's really wonderful. All right, I love the learning from different generations, always growing and learning. Yeah, I think so too. I love learning from the younger people and older people. It's interesting. Comment: you didn't want your Scientology story to take the limelight and sidetrack your roommate's meeting with Tyler Perry. And Scientology is probably the ultimate conversation starters. I hear what you're saying. I have no doubt that it could have. But my point was, I didn't want to take that away from Josh. I wanted Josh to spend the whole night with Tyler Perry, and they get to know him, and that's exactly what happened. So it was totally the right thing to do. It's like he didn't need a conversation starter. That's just the way the guy is. If you met him, you you'd see. I mean, he can just walk in the room, and he's kind of like Streets. He reminds me of Streets. I showed him a video of Streets, and he liked it. But he's very dynamic. Positive mental attitude and gratitude. That's right. That's good. All right. And this is okay. Wait, here's one that I missed. Sorry. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called a present. The present. Ah, that is really nice. LVC. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Ah, that is so sweet. Thank you. Could you, after this, type that on the outside so that I have that? After I end the stream, some people still write things. And would you write that, LBC, so that we have that on there? Because that is a beautiful quote. It really is. I love it. I hope you will. All right, and there you go. Not sure what that is, but I think it's something good. Listening while I'm getting ready for bed. There you go. One way to do it. All right. Here's a comment question from Sophie. With all the focus on not be PTS or watching out for suppressive people and thoughts, Scientology seems very negative and the opposite of how you are describing you actually think. True. First of all, their first course that you take now is the PTSSP course. So they're very big on, you have to know. That was part of what I didn't like about them. I don't like exclusion. I really don't. My mother was very inclusive and taught us to be that way. So I was always a little bit on the outside of Scientology. And I told you that, I was like on the bridge next to the bridge to total freedom. So yeah, mine is different than theirs. And remember, I kept reading all through while I was in Scientology, just self-improvement books and philosophy and stuff like that. So that's just, I was into those things before I got in Scientology. Caroline, a friend of mine who is an artist, says you have to be able to do bad art first. Of course, yeah. You have to be willing to make mistakes. That's a given on anything. If you want to make sports, you have to be able to screw up. Just go out there and play and do it and keep playing. And if the secret is to keep doing it. See, if you keep doing it, it's just a given you're going to get better, or you're going to go, this is really not anything I'm ever going to get good at. And I don't like it. And I'm not going to do it. And there you go. But a lot of times you'll get better, but you have to keep doing it. You're right. All right. Now, this is from Sophie. All the older people I've met who are still vibrant are always learning, especially from the young, and haven't closed down their thinking. Yeah, 100%. I think that is very, very true. Comment, painting always helps me in the moment. I love all that you are saying. Thank you, love it. Yeah, I think it's very vital for everyone. Hey, Tori. And you know what? For people that are depressed, it is really key. They listen to this video and listen to it again and again, and get the book, The Four Agreements, and read it and read it and read it, and get the book Blink and read that, and start trusting your own first instincts and start transforming. Be willing to change, because people they say, well, I'm depressed. It's like, okay, so you can change that. Do you know what I mean? That isn't like a forever thing. That's what it is today, but that doesn't mean tomorrow has to be that way. You can change it. It's a little bit at a time. It's like Ida Cameron used to call me when I first left Scientology. She was 85, and she called me every day, and she said, I just want to remind you, They're just baby steps. Just remember, don't try to take big giant steps because then it's too much. She said, just take baby steps and you'll be fine. And bless her heart, I mean, she passed away. She was a critic before any of us were, anyone. Her son was in Scientology and would not talk to her. He disconnected from her. And he disconnected from her for 50 years. And she passed away before she got to talk to him, but she was a damn good critic. She was. And I did an interview with her. You can type in Ida Camburn and see the interview. It's good. She was a kick-ass woman. She lived out by Hammett, which was back when Scavenge was out there. And we went out there to protest and stuff. And we went back to her little house and the sheriff shows up. And Ida goes out there and you have to see little tiny things, she's a little itty bitty thing, but she was dynamic. And she goes, get off my stairs. I didn't invite you into my house. You're not allowed in my house. Now, what do you have to say? You know, it was just, I cracked up. I thought, oh, this poor woman, she was not ready for Ida. Anyway, that's Ida. The older I get, the more I realize how much I need to learn. Exactly. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. The book called Blink sounds pretty interesting to read. It is. It's about your first instincts. And if I'd read it before Scientology, I would have never joined Scientology. Never. Because my first instincts were Hubbard looked like Hitler, the Sea Org looked like Nazis, and they were all super organized, which wasn't my thing. I was a hippie. So it was like, I would have been like, bye. But I hadn't read the book. And I didn't have it in my head. But it's a good book to read. It has some really good factual things. I got Blink from the library. Haven't started it yet. Okay. Well, start it. Get started on it. That's the first thing. Hey, Tori, hi, Witness. How are you? If you live here, oh yeah, you live in San Diego. That's right. Damn. Every night, you know, I say yes and we go San Diego and then I get ready for bed and then I'm like, oh, I'm too tired. I got to go to bed. And I forget to look at the email. Could you by any chance send it to me tomorrow morning? You know, so, or the best thing is with if you could PM me this is the number here. There. If you could send me that'll come right to my cell phone and I'll see it right when I wake up, which isn't as early as you, I'm sure. But anyway, I'm a night owl, as you guessed. So anyway, if you would, I would appreciate it. Okay, question. What was the part of Scientology that made you think it was helpful? It was right away. I've told the story a million times. You can go read my escape story and I talk about it, but I'll briefly answer your question, Sophie, which was, it was really the people and just meeting the people. And I was very young. I was 22 years old and I wanted to be a Dianetic auditor. And so I told you, I came up and saw that stuff, didn't like it. And my friend said to come ask for John Hildebrand. So I did, and you can watch the escape story, but I explained how, you know, I met him and he was on course, so I couldn't talk to him. So he came and got me, came back to Henry's liquor store, which is next to Asho on Temple Street at the time. And he asked me, well, you know, first he went and got some beer. And I thought, well, he can't be all bad, yet he drinks beer, right? And remember, I was a hippie. So, hey, hi, Danny. Hi. You got to come Thursday night. We're going to protest. Anyway, and we miss you. So there you go on that. So I'm at Henry's liquor store. We're out in his car. And he goes, well, what did you come here for? And I said, I want to be an auditor. And he said, okay, so what are your considerations? And I said, well, the guy with the big pictures all around looks kind of like Adolf Hitler to me. He goes, yeah, I know. He's kind of got his thing on pictures. Don't worry about it. And I said, well, what about those people marching around in the Navy uniforms? Because back then they wore these Navy uniforms and they were very like military. And I didn't like that either. I'd been fighting the Vietnam War for 2 years. And he said, don't worry about it. Those are the Sea Org. You know, that's not us. We're auditors. That's what we do. And he said, I'll tell you what, why don't we go out and meet the auditors? And I said, okay. So we went out and met them. And back then, see, now there's nothing. There's nothing. There's nobody around the complex at all. There's nobody at ASHO. You know, it's just like Scientology's dead. But back then it was jumping. It was jumping. And there were probably 50 to 100 people outside, probably 50, but it felt like 100. You know, it was just like tons of people all around the block. And they were all chatting and they all had all this lingo. And I didn't know what they were talking about, but I remember the second I turned off my critical thinking and thought, I don't care what these people do. I want to be one of them. That was it. And back then, there were a lot of really smart people that were in Scientology, professors, teachers, you know, just like intelligent, fun people, artists. There were a lot of musicians, just cool people. And I just thought, I don't care what these people do. I want to be one of them. So that was really, I got to look at what your question was. When did Scientology go from being helpful for you to being not? Was that the question that you originally asked? When did it go from being helpful to being not? Well, that's a good question. I think it went from being helpful to not probably after the communication course. That was the first thing. Because Hubbard says on that course, communication is the universal solvent. Now, really, honestly, it didn't get bad until OT5. That's when it got really bad and it was not helpful. I mean, all the way up until then, I was having wins. I thought it worked. I had hope in it. I believed in it. I loved all the people. So all of that worked for me. I loved training. I loved being an auditor. So all of those things were good for me until OT5. And OT5 was just a mess. And for every person I mean, a lot of people died after OT5. You know, it was just, and I talked to the cramming officer for OT8, and we talked about why is it that OT5, OT3 people are okay with the BTs and clusters, but OT5, really bad stuff started happening. People started going crazy. They started killing themselves. They started jumping off buildings. You know, it was just like, what was the deal? What happened? And we both, you know what we put together, what it was? I'll tell you tomorrow night. I'm not going to tell you tonight because this is a different one on tonight. But I will remind me because I'm going to tell you tomorrow night on the difference in OT5, OT3 and OT5 through 8. You know, what's the big difference? But it's a whole topic. So anyway, but that was where it really started. Hey, Tori from Vancouver. Love you, PS. All right. Gurroar. All right. Thank you. All right. Don't forget to share the love and hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you for reminding everybody. Let's see, there's 130 people, 33 people here. Thank you for coming. And does anybody know how many likes there are? I'm guessing 84. Does anybody have a total? Witness, no worries. Yes, I can. Woohoo, she will. All right, perfect. Great. And Sophie, thank you, Tori. Thank you. You have been a monumental help. You and Lovett both are just fantastic. Danny, hey, Tori, see if you can come Thursday night to the complex. We're going to, Drew and I are going to come. And I'm trying to get, you know, just a few people so it'll be fun. And Osa, if you're listening, we're going to be there. That's right. Your friends, you can bring that lady with the airplane eyelashes and see if she can get rid of us again. Streets really nailed her ass. That was so great. If you haven't seen that video, watch it. It's on Audit LA. That's what it's called, Audit LA. And just type it in, Audit LA, and it's down a few now, but it's the one where he's handling the crazy lady, the phony security guard, and he is outrageously great on it. Okay, comment. I am now telling my Hare Krishna cult stories on my YouTube channel. Tori is an inspiration. Good, Mike. Good, wonderful. Thank you. All right, I can't be on blue. I can't be on blue. Oh, you mean you can't come to the complex? Oh, because of your thing. That's right. You got the restraining order. I'm sorry. Hmm. All right. Well, send me an email, or a better is to send me a private, like a text. Send me a text at this number, and you can find those underneath my Tori Magoo 44 if you forget it. But send me a text on where you would like to go, because we can go anywhere. We could be anywhere. Can you be over by the testing center? We could do that. That would be fun. Anyway, let me know. You let me know. Okay. Didn't Hubbard just took from other thinkers, including psychology? Absolutely. Heart Heather 44. Yeah, he did. And that's why a lot of this stuff is good. People go, well, I don't know. I kind of liked a lot of it. Well, you have to remember a lot of this stuff is not billions, but it's certainly thousands of years old. And it's good stuff, that he took from it, repackaged. He was good at repackaging and saying it was his. So that's what happened. Yeah, definitely. Scientology has been outlawed and banned in a few countries that care about their citizens. I know, Mike. Thank you. Yeah, Germany is one of them, where, they had Ursula Caberta, who was on the board of the German government. And if people were if you joined a business and didn't say you were a Scientologist and you were, they threw you out. They were like, we've done this drill before. We know it. Danny Mods, check everyone. Okay. Tori Magoo 44, Danny Mods, check everyone. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Thank you. Comment. I felt the same way about Hare Krishna. I wanted to be one of them. They seem so cool, so smart, so spiritual, so knowledgeable. It's true. See, back then, and I'm assuming you're similar to my age or around then, but people that came from the 60s, this was a great jump. It was like, all right, this will work. The hippie thing went down the drain. So, kind of after Martin Luther King was killed, Robert Kennedy was killed, and JFK was killed. And after those three were killed, I forget the lady's name, but she says, we all kind of went upstairs and just did our own thing. And that's kind of what happened. Everybody kind of moved apart. So, anyway. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, yeah, you said they seem so cool, so smart, so knowledgeable. All right, now here's this from Glizbliz. L. Ron Hubbard seemed like a madman and a con artist. Well, he definitely was. I mean, there's no question about that. Very late, but came by to give you a like. Thank you. Thank you, Helene Hendricks. Helene Hendricks. Wow, that's good. Thank you. I appreciate it. And Sophie, any OSA agents or current members, please think for yourselves and consider that you're not being allowed to think freely. Yeah. It's like if you're looking in and you're listening to this at all, it's very easy because I know I've been in your place and it's like, oh, we live in the moment all the time. That's called present time in Scientology. And we live in present time. But the truth is you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't all be talking about each other and having to figure out what tone level everybody is and all the other little nitpicky things that you do that keep you out of present time. You can't really enjoy your life because you're always worrying about all this shit that Hubbard put in your head that you have, including the reactive mind, which you have, everyone has. But guess what the clear cognition is? Oh my God, I think I just realized I'm just creating my own reactive mind. Boom. Would you like to test it clear? I'll never forget it. Me thinking, are you serious? All this shit I've gone through, and that's the EP being end phenomena. That's the end of it is, oh, you put it in my head, Hubbard, and now I realize I'm just making all this shit up. That's disgusting. That's really creepy. And they wonder why OT7s and 8s are fucked up. Talk about clear. That's clear. So yeah, thank you, Sophie, for mentioning that. And here's Love It. Please subscribe to our friend Mike to hear about the Hare Krishnas. There's his thing, Mike Sandoval's YouTube channel. All right, thank you. Lashes, call them awning. I know. That was so funny. Oh, so perfect. She is really a witchy chick, too. And I've been around a lot of mean people, but she was witchy mean. Hubbard's writings are lunacy. Well, yeah, some of them are. Some of them are based on these old philosophies where it makes a lot of sense, which is why people stay. Some of the writings that he, like OT3, please. I mean, if it was really true, why not just tell everyone, well, this is OT3. You're going to find out about Zenu, the evil warlord, and all these body theids that are around you that you have to get rid of. And no, we got rid of that thing about pneumonia because nobody ever got pneumonia. So we're not worrying about that anymore. So we're just going to tell you this is what it is. If you want to pay, $30,000, $40,000, we'll tell you the whole thing and you can get it. Now, that would at least be fair because most people would go, no, thank you, and they'd leave. Oh, God, Scientology. Everything useful in Scientology can be found in other ways and don't require you to disconnect from your loved ones and spend millions. And many don't require you to spend anything. They're free. They're books. And you can read them in the library for free. There are still orgs in Germany. The cult is, however, very monitored. Yeah, I'm not saying that they're not there. I'm just saying they're on top of it more than here. I grew up around all religions, including many Indian ones, but we never joined any. My mom said we could take from all, but never limit our thoughts to one ultimate. Nice, Sophie. Well, she sounds pretty smart. That's cool. Thank you for sharing that. What a cool mom. All right. And this is from Mike. Cult members are always watching each other, sizing each other up. It's so creepy and weird. Yeah, it was a big part of my waking up. It really was. Hi, guys. Love you all. All right. Hi from Cheryl. Okay. And this is Caroline. Hubbard's teeth were obscene. They were. I know. Truly a definite example of their awful medical. No medical. Joke, L. Ron should have used other science fiction ideas than Zenu. I mean, please, that was just plain stupid. I agree. I do. There were plenty of sci-fi things he could have, tagged it onto that wouldn't have been as crazy as that. It definitely was a deep dive for him, a deep dive into insanity. Comment, there's nothing you can learn from L. Ron or Hare Krishna that you can't learn from somewhere else. That is the scam. That's right. And that you can learn for free. Okay, link to interview L. Ron's medical officer. It's very revealing. I bet. Thank you, Sophie. Tori, you would get along with my mom. She's very similar to you, positive and spiritual and open-minded, and she loves young people. Cool. Well, tell her I said hi. All right. And go on to Drew Barrymore's show. I've been in contact with her tonight, Tori. Really? Wow. You mean go on to watch it or go on to actually be on the show? Tori, you would get along. Okay, good. All right, there you go. I think that's it. Does anybody have any other questions? And I'll check out the Drew Barrymore show and see. Anyway, thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Love It, and Sophie for being such wonderful mods. I thank you as my whole group. It's such a blessing to have you guys here. And it makes me happy every night. It really does. I'm very happy to see you guys. Did you ever read Seth Speaks by Jane Roberts? I don't think I did. No. But this is one that maybe other people might want to read. Seth Speaks. No. I didn't. Not that I know of. But you never know with me. Oh, wait a minute. Something's popped up. All right, let's see. I think it's just one more. Love to you all. Thanks for coming by. Please hit the like button if you haven't. Well, yeah, you got to tell me how many likes there are. Somebody tell me. Never in and always against. GN at Tori Magoo 44. What is GN? We don't know what GN is. Gurur. Okay. When you found out about the zenu story, did you believe it at face value? Did you think it was metaphorical or did you think it was nonsense? My very first thought was, you've got to be kidding me. This is OT3? This is it? I mean, I honestly, I couldn't believe it. I was just like stunned. This is OT3 75 million years ago, the evil warlord Zenu. You know, it was just like, oh my God. And then I had to think for a minute and I thought, no, wait a minute, Tori. Not one doctor has been able to tell you why anyone has epilepsy. Maybe this is it. And that was it. That was my hook. It was like, maybe it is. You know, it's like, it's one of those things where I didn't know, I didn't believe it was, but maybe it was. So why not try it? And to me, it felt like, and again, it really taught me that what you think can actually affect how you physically look. Because every session I would contact, excuse me, some BTs or clusters and think I got rid of them. And thus being closer to erasing epilepsy, I believed. And thus I was amazingly happy. And people around the Flagland base would come over to me and say, we have never seen someone have wins like you're having on OT3. And I said, I know. You know, it's like, isn't it amazing? I mean, to me, it was incredible. It was incredibly great. It was like, wow, this is it, right? So when I had tested, I mean, I was thrilled. I really thought I'd handled epilepsy, gotten rid of it. And then the next day I thought, well, I don't really need to take this medicine because I got rid of all the BTs and clusters that caused it. So I just dropped, I think, 1 or 2 pills and I went into status epilepticus, and I've explained that to you guys. And the doctor said 5 more minutes and you would have been dead. And that's pretty spooky because had I called Scientology, I would have been dead. Just like Lisa McPherson, they would have driven me to a doctor and that would have been longer than 5 minutes and I would have been dead, a Scientology doctor. But I didn't. I called Jerry Hall. Somehow in the back of my subconscious, I knew, don't call Scientology, Tori, don't. And I was in status epilepticus, which is multiple grand mal seizures. So how I was able to still be outside and perceive that and call him, and he came over right away, took me right to Morton Plant Hospital, and the doctor said 5 more minutes, you would have been dead. And that's pretty spooky. It really is. And that's bad on you, David Miscavige, because you keep that medical abuse going. Okay, good night, everyone. Good night, Julie. 111 likes. All right, so there's a few people that could like more, or maybe there's some people popping in that are just visiting. But either way, it's good. We got 156 people, which is good, and 111 likes, which is good too. So GN is good night. Okay, thank you, witness. All right, so there you go. Good night, you guys. I hope this helped. I hope it brought some joy to your life, and have a joyous tomorrow. Make sure to spend the day living in the moment tomorrow and tonight when you go to bed. I love you guys. Good night.